Supervising ringside, we do have Ezekiel Oshiame. Our timekeeper is Olushola Ajala. Our judges ringside are Constance John Chinagurum, Gustavo Bankole, and of course our referee is Adesonya Olusegun.
Obey my commands. We have the rule. Whatever I tell you, if I tell you to stop, you stop. If I tell you to break, that is, you are holding yourself, you separate. You understand? That's the rule of the game. And you don't commit foul anyhow. Do you understand? That is it. So you obey me at all times. Understand? Touch gloves. Just touch. Separate.
Instructions finally issued. Carter, FA and Portable. 4 2-minute rounds. Every bit a catchweight contest. The size difference is stark. Both men have huge social media followings, millions between them. But now they go toe-to-toe in the ring, and Portable fast out of the traps. A couple of big shots from Carter FA. It's a difficult one to analyse, but Niran, do your best.
It's crazy, absolutely crazy stuff there. And you can see Portable resorting to something that looks like wrestling right here. And they need to listen to the referee, and that's where the problem is. Because I'm almost thinking I'm watching WWE or something right now.
Well, in fairness, they didn't really listen to the instructions before the fight. I think this is going to quickly become a street
brawl.
fight.
Yeah. And then both of them. I think Carter knows that if he's going to come, he has to come aggressively as well, because that's what Portable is all about. Portable, most times in his victory, has actually used, aggression, intimidation, and a host of other things. And Carter is trying to tell him, bring whatever you want to bring. I'm right here. And I think he's matched him well enough. Don't forget, he's the taller of the two fighters. And of course, he's also got the reach as well. And he's got the same kind of following, also ushering his crowd, telling them they need to come. But I think that if Portable calms himself down, he looks like the better boxer that can score punches, because I saw Carter FA swinging very wildly, and he got to a stage where he was pretty much like hammering down at the back of his opponent.
TJ, thank you. Please, if you do not have any business in this ring, please step out. Please step out. If you have no business, please step out. Thank you. Please step out. If you have no business in the ring, please step out. And we will not announce the winner if you are still in the ring. Please step out. Please step out. Thank you. If you have no business in the ring, please step out. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just witnessed history. After 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard. George Constance scores it 27-30. George Kemi Adebayo scores it 27-30. And George Abimbola scores the fight 27-30. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chaos in the Ring, the main event, brought to you by Balmoral Promotions and Amir Khan. And we do have a winner. Your winner by unanimous decision, Lagos, Africa. Make some noise for Kata Matsuyama!
Carter Efe, king of Africa's social media scene. It's a first pro victory on debut, and he has settled the beef between, well, I say he settled the beef between these two, but I'm sure this is not the last we've heard of the rivalry between Carter Efe and Portable. It was almost impossible to score, but we've got to score somehow.
Yeah, and it was down to who landed the clearer punches, and you've got to say it was Carter Efe, who rocked Portable quite a few times. I was expecting Portable to use his wealth of experience, having had 2 celebrity fights before now, but he was so animated. I guess he was so angry that he was actually looking like he was going into a judo fight with Carter Efe, who was more concerned about throwing punches rather than wrestling. And then you saw him, every time the round started, Carter Efe always went with his gloves, trying to tell Portable that, yeah, it's a fight, but, you know, we're celebrities, we're just making people happy, giving joy, touch gloves, let's go into it. And there's really no law against that as well. We see some boxers do it as well. In between rounds, you see them touching gloves, showing mutual respect for each other. But Portable wasn't having any of it at all. And at the end of the day, it wasn't like he was the better fighter.
Well, it felt he won the mind game battle at the beginning. He stayed backstage, he stayed calm. Portable worked himself up into an absolute frenzy in the ring, and then had nothing left when that first bell eventually rang. So Carter Efe gets the victory on a
And you know the funny thing about it, every time Efe is hoping, you know, I'm not here to fight you, we're just here to celebrate and have fun. And Portable is not having any of it.
You struggle to see how Portable is going to land anything upstairs.
Hey, great job! Keeps him at bay.
Rocks slightly, Carter Efe swings and misses with the big right. And gets turned, and the referee's just going to let them crack on. And why not?
If it's definitely edging this with what we've seen so far, he's been able to land some very big punches. Portable has got a lot of stamina. He's got a strong chin as well, because other celebrities would have dropped. But my concern is if he's got a lot of energy as well. If you see him on the streaming, you think he's a madman as well. So I want to see what's going to happen in the third round. Will they still have this intensity?
I wonder if the excitement and everything else has potentially got to Portable, who's in a bad way in that corner.
Yeah, and I think he's exhausted himself with all the dancing and all the crazy stuff.
Yeah, I think the adrenaline of both men has probably just got a little much for them, and it is hot in this arena. I think they've called that the end of round 2. Oh my word, this sets the scene for a new Nakatani, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think we're going to see something a little bit different at breakfast.
Portable is absolutely exhausted.
The doctor's having a long look there. I wonder.
The way he's looking at that corner, I will not be surprised if he's not coming out of that corner. And you can see if he already when we get to that. But for now, let's stick with Portable. The doctor is going into the ring because he can see how exhausted he is as well. And don't forget, these guys aren't professional boxers, so it has to be taken into consideration. You see the way he's panting there.
Well, it has been a long night. Obviously, these fighters have been waiting backstage for quite a few hours, and I think the sheer adrenaline got them through that opening couple of minutes, but there's nothing left in the tank, is there?
He needs to reserve his energy and try and fight a bit more sensibly. The man who touched gloves with him earlier on is one of the biggest fighters out of Nigeria, Taiwo Eshekpo Agbaje. He was at the York Hall for some, bouts some years back, and you can see Kata Efe there looking more relaxed amongst the two of them. And he's somebody that I think that if he needs to up the ante, he will definitely do that.
Well, we've had a few breaks in proceedings tonight. We get another one here as Kata Efe, the man with the largest Twitch streaming following in the entire continent of Africa, but he's never been in a boxing ring. Portable has been in there twice. He's won 2 decision victories over Charles Okocha and Speed Darlington. So he got through those fights, but potentially the build-up to this one has all got a bit too much. He hyped himself up. He's hyped himself up into an absolute frenzy. The doctor being consulted at ringside. Portable was shaking his head, but I think he was shaking his head as if to say, do not call this off. Do not pull me out of this fight.
And that's my problem with him. His corner's trying to get him to be calm, but he seems to be jumping all over the place. And they're like telling him, and the doctors really having words because they don't want any serious health situation on their hands.
I can tell you the promoter, Easy Adami, was having a chat with the doctor as well. Everyone wants to get a conclusion to this fight, but of course the safety of the 2 men in there is paramount.
Absolutely. And at any point in time, irrespective of whether this is a celebrity exhibition bout.
And there is confirmation. They are waving it off. I think it'll be a no contest, of course, if that's the case, but now Portable has sprung back to life and claiming that he wants to continue.
And I think that they will allow it to go on because he's shown a bit of more stamina. And
well, chaos in the ring has lived up to the billing.
Absolutely, and of course it's climaxing even above the billing. So
we are going to see a third round. The halfway point. 4 more minutes remain, do they? You can just about tick off everything on your boxing bingo card tonight. I think they're going to have one more decisive round. This is the championship round.
This is the championship round. Judging from the fact that both of them aren't professional boxers. And you see Efe once again.
2 minutes to settle the score. And Portable caught one on that exchange and may just look to hold on here for just over 100 seconds. Portable is out on his feet.
And the referee.
And I think the referee is saying no more.
Yeah, I think he's saying no more.
Portable is shaking his head.
What he's saying is that that's the end of the round. They had to reduce the hour or the minutes of that round. 2 rounds have gone on already. And the way they're going, I think for the safety of both boxers, they have to quickly, stop. It's crazy though, but...
So with 2 rounds complete, do we go to the cards?
2.5 rounds, I want to say.
Well, the crowd aren't happy.